Due to the graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised. Ready for something outrageous? A snowmobiler takes the plunge. These construction workers are on the road to ruin. An amateur matador takes the bull by the horns. And a backyard daredevil goes for the big bounce. If it's off the wall and it's on tape, then it's all here. It's totally outrageous behavior.
Hey everybody, I'm Lisa Durgan and welcome to Totally Outrageous Behavior. They say that laughter is good for your health, so get ready for your daily dose of vitamin C. The craziest, most comedic calamities ever caught on tape. You can have your doctor thank me later. But right now, it's time to take your medicine.
This guy just drove into a snowbank and now he's stuck. But instead of calling the local service station for a tow, he decides to save a few bucks and use his friend Joey's pickup truck.
They called me up and they're like, hey, you gotta pull this car out. So I was like, all right, ain't no problem.
Well, maybe one little problem.
Oh, that looks busted to me.
Now this bumper is all bent out of shape, and so is the driver. His friends, on the other hand...
Well, after we got bent the first time, we were kind of weary about doing it again, but then we were like, might as well, we already started.
The boys try again, and this time they're determined to free the car. Well, at least they got part of it.
Turned around and all of a sudden, hey, a chunk of the car was off.
I knew it was possible to rip off an entire bumper, but the whole back end of a car, it was like the greatest thing we've ever seen.
I said stop many times! Stop, stop, stop!
Apparently, Joey didn't hear his pal's warnings, or so he says.
Stop, stop, stop. How can you not hear that? He was screaming loud.
Hey.
Oh, come on, man.
Hey.
So much for saving a buck.
I don't want to look. Yo, you don't want to look.
Because this tow job turned out to be a real ripoff.
Oh!
I just love the symphony, the strings, the horns, the dumbbells. Well, you'll see what I mean.
This man takes multitasking to a whole new level. He's conducting an orchestra and lifting weights at the same time. Unfortunately, when the symphony reaches its crescendo, his platform reaches its breaking point. All that talent was just too much for one stage to hold. And now it's time for this maestro to face the music. He's not too sharp, and his performance fell flat.
Here's the runner who turns track and field into track and field and stream.
One of these runners isn't quite in the same league as the others. Hurdles just aren't his specialty. And while he tries to recover, his competitors pull way ahead. Maybe he can catch them on this next hurdle. Maybe not. Good thing he's already wearing his trunks. Looks like this runner's thirst for competition has been quenched.
Remember in your hometown there was that lame, cheesy guy who hosted the late night horror show? Well, here's a guy who's even scarier than him.
This is late night horror show Shock Theater.
Yeah! Well, zombie friends, I hope you liked the movie.
And it's hard to say what's more frightening, this ghoul
I thought I'd take this time to feed my face.
his lunch,
Peas and corn pan bounty.
or his singing.
Okay, play it again, Sam. 5'2", eyes of blue. Oh, what those 5 feet can do. Has anybody seen
That's scary, all right. But this isn't exactly the kind of horror Mr. Ghoul had in mind. Looks like the show's finally over.
Next week, goodbye, zombies.
And that should come as no big shock.
This adventurer had a great plan to get up the mountain, but his plan for coming down, not so good.
Snowmobile enthusiast Dwayne Burke loves a challenge. And today he's going where no man has gone before, up this steep cliff.
I was hoping I wasn't about to break nothing on my body when I went up and over that hill.
But maybe he should be more concerned about going down the hill.
Like, oh, you're in for a whole world of pain here.
The Snowmobile has a plan of its own. And now Dwayne's riding solo.
I knew I made a mistake the second I let go of the handlebars and my sled took off down the hill without me. That's when I knew I made a mistake.
Fortunately, someone caught Dwayne's $13,000 snowmobile before it crashed into the mountainside.
I owe you, sir, something fierce. If my wife was more liberal, I'd give her to you.
Hopefully, this impetuous snowmobiler has learned his lesson.
Safety first, that's the motto.
And always look before you leap.
Talk about going nowhere fast, but don't you go anywhere. We've got a whole lot more totally outrageous behavior coming right up.
Coming up, a handyman finds that roof repairs are his downfall. Plus, 2 bosom buddies bear it all. And later, a monk has his bell rung. When totally outrageous behavior continues.
Welcome back to Totally Outrageous Behavior. Sometimes it's good to take chances at work, but not when your work involves heavy machinery.
These 2 construction workers are supervising the dismantling of a freeway off-ramp. As the crane hoists the giant slab of concrete, these geniuses decide to stick around for a closer look. Bad idea! The off-ramp suddenly collapses like a house of cards. And the 2 aces almost go down with it. Thankfully, both men are safe, but they've learned that you really need to pay attention at work, or things can fall through the cracks.
Here's the story of a dancing machine who should be sent back to the shop for repairs.
These people are having a great time on the dance floor until Uncle Saul tries to cut in. They don't want to let him join the party, but he's determined and a little tipsy. He makes a last-ditch effort to join in the fun. But it looks like maybe the party's over. Oh, yeah. Uncle Saul may not be a very good dancer, but he sure knows how to get down.
I've seen some crazy stuff out there on the highway, but here's a bad driver who really gets carried away.
No one in their right mind would try to drive through these flooded streets. Except for this lady. She's just come from the eye doctor, and apparently she's still not seeing too well. Because she drives right into the floodwaters, and sure enough, floats away.
That car's going down. It's going down.
suddenly it's a rescue mission. And these firemen are less than thrilled.
That's unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, she's seen that water, she drove in it.
Wait a minute, she's got an idea. But it may be a little late for the windshield wipers. The only thing that will clear these windows is an axe. The rescue workers pull her out of the car. Finally, she's free. And full of gratitude.
Oh my God, they saved my life. Nothing short of pure and simple.
And her assessment of the situation?
Stupid. Is what it was, stupid.
At least she got that right.
Here's my secret recipe for disaster. 1 gutter, 1 ladder, and 1 klutz.
This man is trying to pull the leaves out of his gutter. Guess he pulled a little too hard. His wife runs in to lend a hand, but it's too late for that. Mr. Fix-It will have some trouble forgetting this home repair nightmare. In fact, it may be difficult for him to keep his mind out of the gutter.
This next guy wanted to rid himself of his inhibitions, but he somehow lost his clothes in the process.
Kevin and Dustin are about to have one of the most memorable nights of their lives.
Kevin was kind of talking about how he has a hard time with women. So I decided that it'd be a good self-confidence booster to convince Kevin to go streaking.
How you doing? What's up? Yeah. So we're gonna run through Denny's naked.
It sounded like a good idea at the time after about an hour and a half of persuasion.
And now it's go time.
We ran in through the front door. There was about 4 or 5 people in the restaurant, and everyone is just like, what the hell?
The adventure is a complete success until now. Looks like their getaway car is getting away.
I don't think the thought ever crossed my mind that it would be stolen.
They've got no car, no clue, no clothes, and it's cold.
It was about 15 degrees, and the wind chill on certain parts of my body was just a little too much to handle at that point.
And now, we're hiring the staircase, butt naked. Bad idea.
Luckily, someone comes to their rescue.
We got a ride home from the police.
That was probably the worst part of the night right there, is riding home in a cop car naked.
The whole ride home, he's like, okay, so why exactly did you do this?
I have no clue.
But did this little escapade boost Kevin's confidence?
No clue.
Well, Kevin, maybe you just had a streak of bad luck.
After seeing that, I really need to take a break, and so do you. I'll be right back with more totally outrageous behavior.
Up next, a 4th of July prank goes up in smoke. Plus, a rocker throws himself into his music. And later, peer pressure pushes this kid over the edge. When totally outrageous behavior returns.
Welcome back to Totally Outrageous Behavior. It's time for a clip I call the human gong. See if it rings a bell.
These monks have broken their vows of silence to put on a New Year's Eve show. And this guy could definitely use a little divine intervention. That's one way to ring in the new year. This performance wasn't exactly a religious experience, but at least it got this monk a little closer to heaven.
I'd like to propose a toast to a matador who gets rear-ended by a bull. Bottoms up.
This first-time matador isn't wearing proper bullfighting attire. So the bull gives him a fashion makeover. And now he's flying by the seat of his pants. Hopefully, this amateur matador learned that you have to dress for success. And that's no bull.
Here's a rocker who really knows how to use his head.
Local rock band Fried Ice has scored a great gig, playing at the county fair. Unfortunately, they're having some trouble at the sound check.
1, 2, I sway.
The guitarist suspects that there may be something wrong with his amp. But to be sure, he'll have to take a closer look. Well, maybe not that close. Good thing their fans were expecting hard rock, because the guitarist turned out to be a real headbanger.
This next video was sent to us by totally outrageous viewer Matt Gazewood. Matt invented a new way to set off bottle rockets, and you don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure out where he went wrong.
It's the 4th of July, and these shirtless wonders are preparing to close themselves inside this dumpster and set off some Roman candles.
We took our shirts off to add effect, to show that we were a little more crazy.
I am honored.
I don't think any of us were even smart enough to know that we could get injured.
The trio is packed in tight, and now it's time to light up.
Not much room to move, but enough room to scream.
The first few rockets pass right through an opening in the top of the dumpster. But then they start to ricochet off the lids and the guys.
Got tagged right and left with exploding fireworks. Hurt a little bit, but the worst part about being in the dumpster was the smoke. I gotta say, the smoke was the worst part.
When the smoke clears, the boys come up for air. And all in all, they consider their stunt a success.
Surprisingly, none of us got any injuries.
Still, they would never try this again, would they?
I would do this stunt again in a heartbeat, and next time I'd do it in a porta potty.
And that's not just talking trash.
Coming up next, a teenager's big stunt goes bust on totally outrageous behavior.
Welcome back to Totally Outrageous Behavior. Well, it's almost the end of the show, and that can only mean one thing. It's time for our most outrageous clip of the night. It's about a kid whose friends told him to take a flying leap. Too bad he listened.
Danny Road Truck and his friends are bored.
We got this big idea that we were going to jump off a house onto a trampoline.
Really bored.
Land on your butt.
A cautious Danny makes his friend Hudson go first.
He landed perfect. Nothing happened to him.
Very good, that's funny.
That looks easy enough, but now it's Danny's turn to jump.
Okay, Danny.
So I got up on the house and waited there. Got kind of scared.
Watch out, man, hold up. I ain't never been up this high.
After several minutes of waiting and some gentle prodding from friends,
Oh, come on. I didn't give you no 10-second notice yet.
Danny looks down, takes a deep breath, and decides to wait some more.
For some reason, I just didn't feel comfortable. It didn't feel right.
But eventually, Danny psychs himself up for the big jump. 1, 2,
3.
Ouch. I mean, I've done some dumb things, but that right there, I think that hurt worse than any of the dumb things I've ever done.
Danny's fall obliterates a nearby lawn chair and puts an effective end to any future jumps. But this day wasn't a total bust.
I'm kind of glad it's on camera because in like 60 years from now, when I'm showing my grandchildren how dumb I was, that, you know, maybe they won't try something so stupid.
Let's hope not.
Behavior we have for tonight, but we'll be bouncing back next time with another half hour of the most outrageous videos on the planet. Good night, everybody.